Good evening and welcome to the channel. My name is Paul Adams from Small Crown Productions. This is the Business of Art, and it's the 1st of January. Happy New Year. What a way to see in 2022. 2020, 2021, both a bit crap, really, when you think about the global context and things that have happened, and COVID, and all of the other stuff that's come about because of COVID. A lot of things I agree with, a lot of things I don't agree with. But here we are, day one, 2022, and off we go. So, I mentioned on a video very recently that one of the things I'm going to do is actually live stream a lot more over the next little while, because when it comes to trying to build this business and get things happening, Happy New Year, Sue. Good to see you. When it comes to building this business and getting things happening, it takes a lot of focus, takes a lot of time, and trying to do that and have a day job while I build this business, and also have the time, make the time to create shows and also produce videos and post them with any kind of consistency. It was just becoming a bit too much. And so in the true sense of trying to still do it all, I was going to look for another opportunity to do that. And that's what this live stream and the next whole range of live streams will be about. So just basically getting it done. So I really wanted to just start having more conversations around the work that we do as artists and creative people, and building that business that helps us sustain life and build an income from that. And just trying to make the videos was becoming too hard. So this is my fix for that, so that I can still have those conversations, and hopefully you are interested in having them as well. So thank you for being here. Welcome. Thanks for taking a look at this video. What I want to touch on tonight is imposter syndrome. Just very briefly, I want to touch on that. I don't plan to do a lot of very long live streams. I want these to be kind of quick and get in, get out, touch on a subject, and really just, really start the conversation and then see where that conversation leads. I think it's important for us to talk about this stuff because imposter syndrome, for a start, is something that holds us back from being able to achieve the things that we really want to achieve. And so for me, it's something I face really regularly, and I know a lot of people who know me probably wouldn't expect that. I'm generally quite a confident person, but this whole sense of pushing through to do something that you haven't done before, it can leave you thinking that you're not good enough, or you haven't achieved enough yet to be able to have conversations like this and start these conversations and do videos and content around building a business. Because, I don't have a lot of subscribers on my YouTube channel, or I haven't made it to the point where I'm earning 100% of my income from my art yet. And it's really interesting because when you start to actually analyze the achievements, and you start to see how that sits in comparison to where other people are at, you suddenly start to realize that you're doing okay. I get to work professionally as an actor regularly throughout the year, and I'm doing a lot more of that than a lot of other actors I know. That's a massive win. I make money from my creative work. That's a massive win. There's a lot of people who aren't doing that, or certainly not making the money that I am. There is still that day job capacity that has to be there to help sustain life. And, the goal is eventually to leave that. But I think one of the greatest phrases that I heard around this subject is the idea that you are someone's expert. And for me, that really hit home. That was the thing that really helped me get past the starting point of that imposter syndrome and to just start. And it's that sense that I need to be clear about who I'm talking to and who that target audience is, who those people are that are going to benefit from a conversation like this. And it's people that have probably a year or two behind where I'm at in that journey of building their artistic and creative business. People who are also, starting out on that new journey. I mean, I've been in business and built other people's businesses, but that process of starting from scratch, starting from zero, and building your own audience to have your own, customer base that buys your art, that buys your creative work, that's brand new. That whole 0 to 1 that's tough. That's a hard part. And then talking about this whole process and trying to advise other people on ways that they can do it. There are times, a lot of times, when I feel like, and I think that's been one of the blockages to actually get in and just create videos, is I look at what I want to talk about and I start to get that doubt in my mind about what have I done? Who am I to be able to say this? And I mentioned in a recent video, and I've mentioned him a couple of times before, a guy called Seth Godin. He's probably one of the world's most prolific marketers right now, certainly one of the most prolific people who talks about marketing and discusses it. He's written about 18 or 19 books on the subject. He's an incredible marketer and has an incredible insight into this whole setup. And one of the things that he says that I really, really love is this sense that whenever you are pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, you're going to start to feel that imposter syndrome. So if you are really setting out to do something, to try and achieve something that is beyond where you have been before, that you are looking to do something new, that you are pushing out to grow or inspire or whatever it is that you want to kind of put around that thing that you're trying to do, whenever that is beyond where you are used to and comfortable, you are likely going to feel imposter syndrome, and that's normal. And you're not the only one that feels it, and it's really common. And it's the people who choose to act anyway, the people who choose to do anyway, the people who embrace that insecurity and actually put that foot in front of the other one, because that is what true leadership is actually doing something that's never been done before. It's really taking that opportunity and running with it and seeing where it leads, and I'm the sort of guy who's happy to just start and work it out along the way. But there is part of me that feels like it should be all known ahead of time. So it's interesting that I find that blocks me when I'm generally pretty much a let's just give it a crack and see how it goes type of guy. Because I'm not afraid to fail. I'm quite okay with it, because I understand the concept that failure is actually the thing that leads to success, greater success. Because unless you go down a road and see, you don't know if that's the right road or not. And it's like when you're tasting foods, people are afraid to try foods, but you don't know what you like until you taste it. And it's the same with jobs, and it's the same with creative endeavors and hobbies and whatever it is that you're interested in. You don't know what you like until you try it. And sometimes trying 100 things can be discouraging, but you're 100 things closer to knowing what you do like. And, I've been thinking that way for quite a long time. So, yeah, so it's fascinating that this fear can really overcome us and stop us from really focusing on the things that are going to help us push ourselves beyond where we've been to achieve that next level of whatever it is that we're trying to achieve, and at whatever level that is for you. When I say next level, I'm not talking about that idea of having to go $1 million income or whatever. Definitely would love to get to that point, but it's really about where am I now? What is the next level that I need to achieve to be able to get forward into what I'm trying to do? And that sense of just stepping forward is fine. I do that. I'm happy to do that in the background, but it's fascinating to me that when I want to come and talk about it and prep a video and break it down, there's a blockage there. And so for me, as an actor, the actor side of me, the improviser side of me, knows that if I just turn the camera on and start talking, it'll be fine. But then I'll overanalyze it if I go into the edit room for some of this stuff at the moment. So this is my version of facing that fear and facing that imposter syndrome, which is just going to be to jump on, do a live stream, have a few ideas that I want to talk about in each video and punch through that fear and really just keep having these conversations, because I am absolutely 100% adamant that these conversations are important for us as creative people to have. We need to talk about money. We need to talk about how to save it, how to spend it smartly, how to grow it, how to get it, how to keep it, all those sorts of things. We need to have the conversations about, should you work for free? And what does that actually mean? We need to have the conversations about what systems that we can take from standard, what we would class as standard businesses, accountants, coaches, any other kind of business that's out there that's making a lot of money, potentially product-based stuff, SaaS companies, what systems and processes do they have in place that we should be taking and using around our art to help us grow that income? They are important conversations for us to have, because the more we talk about it, the more it becomes normal for us, the easier it is for us to see those opportunities that those systems and processes can create. And that, for me, is what it's all about. That idea of being able to take a piece of art that we create, for me, it's shows, but actually then convert that into other income streams. And so, you know, being able to diversify that and grow the income from our customer base is so important. And so, you know, it's not about being exploitative. It's not about trying to, you know, squeeze every last dollar out of our prospects, out of our customers, out of our audience. But it is about finding the things that interest them and finding the things that they will potentially be interested in paying for, because you are providing that service to them, and creating that as another income stream. So, you know, I'm looking at 3 or 4 at the moment that I'm developing that all fit around that concept of a show and a production. So, you know, I think these are really important conversations to have, and this is my way of punching fear in the face, as I've heard it said by the guys on the Think Media team, and just pushing out to have these conversations, because I do honestly believe they are so important. We cannot be a community of people who relies solely on handouts and government grants and, you know, the hope of producing something on the smell of an oily rag. You know, there are plenty of examples of people who have been able to create amazing businesses that sustain them. And it doesn't mean that you have to have a huge audience, but it does mean that you need to think about the process around how you do that, how you get a customer, how you keep the customer, and how you get a great lifetime value out of those people as your audience. So, you know, that's the sort of next couple of things that I want to talk about, is that sense of, you know, how should we be looking at our creative business, and what is the structure that we can start to think about that is going to help us do that. But tonight I wanted to do a real quick riff just on this whole sense of imposter syndrome. It's something that has affected me through pretty much every area of my life as I've pushed myself beyond. You know, I fight in a medieval reenactment club, and, you know, for a long time, it took me a very long time to get to that peak level that I was looking to get to before I finally won the top tournament that we have in our game. And it took me a long time to get through that headspace blockage of that. And you know, it was about putting in that work to really think about what I was being blocked by. What was it that I was scared of that was stopping me getting there? It's happened for me as an actor. It happens for me in business. You know, anytime we kind of push ourselves, because I'm really driven to try and keep doing more and achieve more. And I know sometimes that's probably to my detriment. But that sense of fear, that sense of imposter syndrome of, well, who are you? Who are you to be able to talk about that and to do that? It really seeps in. And so for me, the way to beat fear is to just take a step forward and to walk towards that fear most of the time. If it's a spider, probably not so much. If it's a snake, definitely not. If it's a large cliff to go down into some kind of waterhole, definitely not. That kind of fear scares. No, I'm not doing that. But when it comes to this stuff, I'm definitely going to take a step forward, because ultimately, what's going to happen is somebody doesn't buy, somebody doesn't purchase. And that's not the end of the world. Somebody doesn't like my show. Well, that's okay. I totally expect that's going to be the case, because I can't please everyone. I don't find this anywhere near as scary as some of that other stuff that people do. But yeah, so anyway, this is my version of facing that fear. My version of facing the imposter syndrome is to turn a camera on and talk. So I really invite you to come and join me in these conversations. Pop comments in the chat if you ever jump on when I'm live. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff that goes with building a channel. And I generally will respond to every comment that's put on the channel, because, you know, I don't have a huge following at the moment. I'm capable of doing that. So if you do want to have a conversation about something, pop it in the chat, let me know. Pop it in the comments, let me know. I will be very, very interested to engage and have that conversation with you. If there's anything that you're struggling with building your creative business, let me know so that we can work through that together, and I can, possibly give you some strategies to think about in your future growth and development as well. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm here for. But let's go out, step into 2022 together. Let's punch fear in the face and really just take that step forward into getting to the next level of what it is that we're trying to achieve. And I believe that the more we can do it together, the more we can collaborate and have these conversations, the better it's going to be for all of us. So that's it. Day 1, 2022. Thanks very much. I will talk to you soon. Bye.